A portion of this video is sponsored by EIP. So the iPad 11 with the A16 Bionic chipset has been a very good iPad, and I think this is so good that we don't even need pros. I mean, yes, there's a certain demographic that actually utilizes a lot of the pro features, but for many people who use an iPad, whether it's just for school, for casual use, for media, entertainment, things like that, this iPad is more than enough. So I want to talk about my use of this 8 months after its release, what's held up. And the first thing is going to be the performance. For everyday tasks, whether it's browsing the web, watching YouTube videos like this one, using it for social media apps, it still feels snappy with no noticeable lag. And right now it's running the iPad OS 26 version, so it's been pretty good so far. It's not 120 Hertz, doesn't have a ProMotion rate display, but that's fine. I mean, if you want to get 120 Hertz, you go for a higher end iPad, obviously. This is completely okay. Now the A16 chip remains very capable, and in my use case, it does handle multitasking well, so you can have a couple apps open in the background and just switch back and forth, and you won't have any problems whatsoever. And in fact, you can use it for apps like Final Cut Pro. Like, it will work on here. And if you're getting into content, I think this is a well-off tablet. I kind of wish, like, when I was starting content, I had this. I had an LG G3. I had a Samsung laptop with Windows Movie Maker, and at that time, like, that's the best you could get. At least with what I had. I didn't have a MacBook. I didn't have an iPad, and even if I did, iPad didn't even support Final Cut Pro. Like, this is recent. I didn't have a MacBook. MacBooks weren't that powerful. At least from what I remember, they weren't the greatest, but they got better much quicker over time. And I just was an Android guy, and my main phone is still an Android. But to my point, it's like this has held up very well in the performance department. Okay, look, you want to make the best use of your iPad, but also protect it at the same time. I got right here a screen protector from EIP, and it's actually pretty cool. So this screen protector, it's detachable, it's reusable, and it's washable. So it's perfect if you're switching between sketching and streaming. It sticks firmly without magnets, so it's easy to remove and reapply anytime. If it ever does get smudged, you just rinse it underwater and reuse. It's that simple. It's good at resisting fingerprints, and it keeps your display looking sharp every time. But the star of the show is this keyboard case from EIP. It turns your iPad into a mini laptop in a way, without being a true laptop replacement. So it features patented shortcuts built specifically for apps like Good Notes, Notability, which is the one I use, so you can switch tools and highlight text with a single key combo. The 135-degree adjustable stand and detachable keyboard make it great for both work and travel. And one of my favorite things is it's built with premium materials with thickened corner bumps and enhanced scratch resistance to keep your iPad protected. You also get a pretty large multi-gesture trackpad and a 7-color backlit keyboard to personalize your setup with your favorite color while you work. And of course, with up to 200 hours of use, you won't need to recharge it anytime soon. All of these accessories are designed to work seamlessly together, boosting your creativity and your productivity on your iPad while keeping it safe. You can find the links below if you want to check them out yourself. Now back to the video. Now, another thing that has held up really well with this iPad 11th gen has got to be the battery life. Again, if you're using it for media and entertainment, like typical usage, using it for web, browsing, Safari, watching videos, some light productivity, maybe sending some emails here and there, battery is going to last you pretty much all day. I can go 3-4 days because this is not a device I'm using all day, every day. Like, I don't sit here from morning to night, use it. It's like, yeah, I use my phone. I'll use my iPhone or like my Android all day because it's in my pocket and I'm out on the go. But like, this is not a device I'm carrying with me. Like, it's not gonna fit in my pocket. I can't use this all day. So it only makes sense it's going to last much longer. But there has been many times where I was able to push this for an entire week without charging it. And obviously that does mean I'm not using it that often. But to me, I like that because I really don't like charging devices all day, every single day. If I can charge it once a week, perfect. And for this, it's great. And I know that even if I need to sit down and use it more, it's still going to last me for the entire day going into day 2. Now, charging speeds, they're not the fastest, but it still gets the job done. Like, I'm not in any rush when I'm charging the iPad. Another thing that I actually like about this, surprisingly, is the display. This 10.9-inch display, it's sharp, it's bright, and again, it's great for media consumption. Is it 120 hertz? No. Is it OLED? No, but whatever. Like, you're paying like $350, $400. You're not going to be getting the best of the best, right? The LCD is noticeable, and when you compare, especially if you compare it to Pro models, in smoothness as well, like you're not going to get the 120 hertz, but for many users, I think that's completely okay, and I think you'll be off. You'll be good, like without having it. It's not a need to have it. Now, also what I do like about just Apple products in general, but with this iPad specifically, is the build quality. Like Apple didn't really make any compromises with the build quality. Still feels really solid. There hasn't been any major issues with like thermal throttling. I think thermal management is pretty good with this. So in that regards, it's great. I don't really talk about the cameras too much on any iPads because I personally don't use it, but hey, if you're going to be using it for scanning files or just taking, I don't know, photos or videos, it's all right. Don't expect anything crazy, but the front-facing camera is right here and also does have center stage, so that's great for video conferencing. And the speakers, that's another important aspect, right, about this iPad. The speakers and the audio quality are good, and I think they're great for media consumption. If you're looking for pro-level audio, you're not going to get it here, but it still does a decent job. Now, what are like the weak spots about it, or where it kind of shows its limit? It's obviously that ProMotion. For some, actually for many, it's not a deal breaker, but for some, that ProMotion be like, well, then I'll just go get like an iPad Pro. I'll get a iPad with ProMotion. And you can find older iPad models for much cheaper that may be closer to price with this. So some may go that route and pick up an older iPad Pro model that has that 120 Pro or that 120 Pro Motion display. So it's like, for some, it is a deal breaker, but for many, I still don't think it is. Again, it might bother some users who are sensitive to that motion. The USB-C port here is limited. I mean, I'm glad it has USB-C, so Apple is kind of getting rid of the whole Lightning thing, but it only is limited to USB 2.0 speed, so it's not great for fast external storage or anything like that, or high bandwidth accessories. Again, that's kind of left for the Pro models. If that's you, then you may have to look elsewhere. There is no wireless charging, which again, no iPad has, but would be cool to see. And also keep in mind with high brightness, the higher the brightness, it's going to drain the battery faster. So if you do want to do a lot of video editing or a lot of gaming, then just be aware you're probably gonna have to charge this every single day. And also the fact that this doesn't support Apple Intelligence, that may be a weak part for some, but honestly, I don't really care. I really don't. I don't care that this doesn't have Apple Intelligence. If you notice, like Apple didn't really talk about Apple Intelligence with the reveal of the iPhone 17. But here's what I want to kind of say who this device is good for. I think it's good for students. It's good for casual users or anyone needing a reliable tablet. And look, I use my tablets like this. I even use my iPad mini like this, but there are some who still use it how it was originally introduced. The iPad was originally introduced in this format. But I think anyone needing a reliable tablet for reading, streaming, light productivity, things like that. If you use like the Apple Suite with Keynote and Numbers, Pages, or if you use Microsoft Suite, Google Suite, whatever the case may be, this will take care of those without any problem whatsoever. I think it's also good for people upgrading from older base iPads like the 8th gen, 9th gen. I know some people who have the 7th gen. And you'll feel a noticeable leap in the speed, in the storage, and just in the overall improvement in design. And I also think this is a good value for those who care more about you know, just the build and the battery life, and having a pretty decent chipset rather than the high frame rate display or any of like those pro features. Like if you just want a little bit better camera, obviously you go with like a pro camera or like an iPad Pro. If you want Pro Motion, you go for the iPad Pro. Now, after 8 months, here's when I kind of want to say, wrapping things up, the iPad 11th gen with the A16 chip remains a strong value proposition. It's solid performance, it's got really good battery life, and again, like cameras that will get the job done. I think at this point any iPad will get the job done. If you're not expecting ProMotion, if that's something you don't care about, you're not going to be doing any heavy creative work, you don't need, you know, any fast charging or wireless charging for that matter, which again, no iPad right now has wireless charging, you'll be really satisfied with this specific iPad. For those who want those pro features, it's going to fall short. But for its price and for its audience, this iPad, it's going to deliver, and it has been delivering well, and I can easily recommend this to many people who ask me about getting an iPad. I ask them what they need, and when they name everything, I'm like, well, you may have thought you want an iPad Pro, but I think this iPad is more than capable. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, definitely be sure to super smash that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. Definitely be sure to check out my latest wallpaper pack. It's called Vintage Flourish. Links will be in the description down below. It goes a long way in helping out the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.